What's up, everybody? This is another episode of Sports-REUBEN-LIFE. This is Ruben here. I'm going to jump right into it, okay? This is a very interesting game I want to talk about. This is the co-game of the week for me. I really like this matchup. I like what there could potentially be here. And so it's the 10-1 New England Patriots at the Houston Texans, who's 7-4, right? And I think this is a very interesting game, right? The reason why I think this is an interesting game is because Houston has a type of offense and personnel that are kind of what got New England beat in their only loss this year, right? New England lost to the Baltimore Ravens and the dynamic, explosive nature of Lamar Jackson and company, right? So Deshaun Watson is the quarterback of the Houston Texans, right? Houston is a very capable and accomplished team at 7-4. They had some close games, so they could easily be 9-2, 10-1. So we don't want to discount their record so far. Their 7-4 is not. They're a little bit better than the 7-4 in my opinion, right? So the whole thing about them is, can Deshaun Watson, right? Because the Patriots seem to have a hard time, just like everybody else in the league, though, that the Patriots have a hard time with this running quarterback, right? He's able to get rushing first downs. So Deshaun Watson is a little bit more passer. He's a little bit more of a passer, right, than, say, Lamar Jackson, if you want to compare their styles, right? And so their offense, the Houston Texans have a very dynamic offense, right? They average 136 yards on the ground, and 244 yards in the air, right? So they're a little bit more balanced than, say, the Baltimore Ravens. So I would expect Deshaun Watson and company, Deshaun Watson in particular, to maybe try to use his legs a little bit more in this game, because in a kind of a roundabout way, the blueprint has been set for the New England Patriots as to how you can possibly beat them. They're playing very well this year. The New England Patriots are having another Super Bowl type year, right? And so when you look at the New England Patriots offensively, right? You look at what are they going to be able to do, right? Okay, they have a balance. They have a traditionally balanced offense, right? Their offense is middle of the pack, averaging 352 yards of offense, 260 in the air, 91 on the ground, right? It's not great, right? But it's balance and control, right? New England, when they get the victories, when you look at their statistics and you look deep in there, you see the time of possession, you see the number of plays, you see the average number of plays, rushing, passing, first down. There's a lot of balance involved with New England, right? And a lot of situational control. What they do is they're not going to allow you to situationally take advantage. So one example is like right before the half, they're not just going to let you score. They're going to try to be in position so they can get the ball at the end. They're going to try to hold on to that ball, so that way you're not up by 10 and then all of a sudden they get a lucky touchdown at the end of the half and now you're only up by 3. So you put all that work in the first half to only be up by 3. It's a little deflating, right? But the whole issue with New England is they're just very well coached situationally. They're good at taking advantage of those type of times, right, where you're not only controlling the time of possession, which if you do correct pacing, you're not just scoring fast, you're not running plays quickly, and you control the pacing. Now a team is kind of put up against a wall when they have to score offensively. If their offense is not dynamic, if their offense is not quick to respond, then New England can just wait you out. They can score a couple points early, and then they can just control the pace, control the ball, control situationally how it works, right? So New England has an opportunity here to kind of just keep going and keep chugging along, and they're in the driver's seat to secure home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And if anybody knows anything about football over the last 20 years, if you have a Belichick coached, Brady-led New England Patriots at home, it's very difficult to beat them. Okay, they're very capable. They're good at playing in that horrible weather. They're just used to it, right? They're very apt at doing that. So the Houston Texans, one thing about them is they are, they're trying to make the playoffs, right? They are in first place right now, but that's because their division is a little bit watered down, right? But they have 6-5 Tennessee Titans, 6-5 Indianapolis Colts, and the 7-4 Houston Texans. If they lose a game, then they can be in a three-way tie amongst those teams and could potentially go from winning the division to being out of the playoffs, right? Because you have the Buffalo Bills in the same division as the New England Patriots, and they're 9-3. You can almost guarantee that if they keep on winning at the kind of trajectory that you're at, they're going to be in the playoffs, right? So then it's going to be a mad dash for that 6-5, 6-6 team. And there's a bunch of teams in that spot. So Houston doesn't want to lose that first place. So there is a little sense of desperation, right? And I really want to see that the Patriots are not the best at stopping the run, okay? So stopping the run, right? Because the Patriots have the second best defense statistically in the NFL, right? Behind the San Francisco 49ers, right? Well, one thing is they give up 90, 95, 98 yards a game rushing, right? But that would even have been skewed. They would have been ranked number one if they didn't play the Baltimore Ravens, which had a field day with the New England Patriots, okay? So Deshaun Watson, does he have that in him to just go run heavy and push the pace? Because the Baltimore Ravens kind of gave them the blueprint, right? And then so for New England, they need to do a bunch of the same defensively, right? They need to focus on what they're good at. They have been able to really stop the pass, right? Their pass defense has been second to none. It's very good. So if they can shut down the passing attack of the Houston Texans, are the Houston Texans going to then focus on the run, right? So there's that cat and mouse game. What New England's good at doing, the Houston Texans can take advantage of that, right? Rushing first downs, that's going to be the big indicator. Time of possession, right? Who's going to get that, right? And then, of course, we talk about turnovers and disciplined football. Both these teams are pretty disciplined, although Houston, their quarterback gets sacked way more than Brady. That's a huge difference, right? Brady's been sacked 18 times, and Deshaun Watson's been sacked 32 times. So sacks, here's where that's important, right? That's almost 3 a game for the Houston Texans. One, durability, right? They might not want Deshaun Watson to be run happy because of the fact that, one, they don't want him to get hurt, right? Because he's getting sacked so much. He could get injured, right? And number 2, when you have a lot of sacks, those are potential turnovers, right? And a turnover, it's like a punt. It's like you just lose possession of the ball, right? And the New England Patriots, newsflash, they're number 1 in differential and turnovers, right? They have 20 interceptions, 9 fumbles for 29 total. They only have 6 interceptions and 4 fumbles for a total of 10. So they're plus 19, right? Plus 19, which is number 1 by a long shot in the NFL, right? And then if we look at Houston, where does Houston land, right? Houston is, sorry about that. Houston is middle of the pack. They're plus 11, right? Their differential is 0. So they got 5 interceptions, 6 fumbles for takeaways for a total. 8 interceptions, 6 fumbles for 14 total. 14 total, right? And then you have 8 interceptions and 6 fumbles for 14. So they're just kind of zeroed out when it comes to their turnover game, right? So that could be big too, right? If New England gets their turnover and they capitalize, are they going to be able to score points? Are they going to be able to do what's supposed to be done? So I like this idea that's in the details, right? The details is if New England can capitalize on a turnover, can they score on it? Is that going to be enough, right? And so Houston needs to maybe generate a turnover. That's where I think it's going to go. So I see New England winning, right? And to sum it all up, I see New England winning. I think New England could get this victory. They're favored by 3.5 points, which means like a touchdown, right? The over-under is 46 points. New England's only given up 10 points defensively, dude. That's because of situationally controlling the football, right? That goes exactly what I'm talking about here. It's a simple formula for New England. We keep our offense on the field, and we score every time. We score touchdowns every time to the tune of 27 points a game, and there's a point differential of 17 points a game that we're allowing versus what we're getting, right? And then Conversely, you have the Houston Texans. They're giving up 22 points a game and they're only scoring 24. So there's a tale of two situations right there, right? Which means that defensively, you're slowing people down, but they're still scoring points on you. So we have to really look at that. So I see New England maybe winning by 14 points here, right? The over-under, I don't think New England, if Deshaun Watson, if he starts running the ball a bunch, right? I can see this game going the other way, but I don't think they will because of all the abuse that he's taken during the course of the year. He's already received a lot of abuse. His durability issues are always a question with quarterbacks, and because of the fact that he already has 32 sacks, I don't think they're going to let him run the ball a lot. Where I think that is a solution, and I think that's a possible way because Lamar Jackson showed that you can do that. Deshaun Watson has the ability to run the ball, right? But are they going to be able to execute that? So you're going to be able to see that at the beginning of the game, right? If Deshaun Watson and company, if they don't run the ball, if he doesn't run the ball, quarterback sneak it, play action, he doesn't start doing all that at the beginning, then it's going to be a long night for Houston because they're not going to be multi-dimensional, right? And then so New England's just going to do what they always do: control the ball, score. Control the ball, score, right? Eat up the clock, 6-minute drives, 7-minute drives. So anyways, that's my take on this game. This is this and the other game of the week. I think this is a very interesting game as well. I think there's a lot of ramifications that in the future to look for playoffs, right? Who do you think could beat who? And these are two very good teams. New England, I think, has a slight edge on this. And anyways, if you guys like this video, like, subscribe, tell me what you think. I want you to know your opinion. Who's going to win the game? Talk to you guys later. Bye.